Right.
Really,
Okay.
1 3/4.
1 3/4. Right. This was on. So who wants to do a recap of what happened last time we played then? Lo, those many moons ago, as it were.
Some of us are in prison.
Uh-huh.
Some of us are in the throne room.
Not anymore.
And some of us are out in the city.
Some are escaping.
Some are escaping, yeah.
Some, it's me. Just me.
I'm a little bug. I escaped too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's
yeah.
true. H'rafn's a bug.
So the whole party got escorted from the top of the mountain to the capital at Stand, is that right?
Karen Hall.
Hall.
Stand is where we gained our reputation.
It's true.
Oh, yes. Okay. Different significant city then. Yeah.
Different K City.
Different case city.
Different continent.
Gotta say, yeah, different continent,
Crucially,
different islands.
different continent, yeah.
Anyway, myself and H'rafn were imprisoned. H'rafn is a fly, so he's able to escape. Rurak attempted to cast some spells, but failed.
Mm-hmm.
And Zorgar and Narinn are in the throne room with Valasar and his...
Anymore.
No, you're not anymore?
They were.
You were.
We were previously.
Okay. Are you in prison now? Is that what's going on?
We were getting escorted to ourselves.
Right. And Sorith and Muir are both out in the city.
Sorith's not even here.
Sorith's not even here. Where's Sorith?
On some fucking mountain.
On some fucking... Alright. Okay.
Taking a wee kip.
Oh yeah, I was on the cliff. I was on the edge of the cliff having a nap, and then I came back up to join the army, and the army's just chilling somewhere.
Yeah, fair enough. And where's Xarxan? I forget.
Left?
Cliff?
Am I also on the cliff?
Yeah, as far as I remember, you guys are just with the army, generally. And the army had decided they were going to walk down the mountain and figure out the plan on the way there.
And that's about it?
That's roughly it, yeah. So, I guess there's not really anything to do other than to just sort of jump into things. So, I guess we'd probably pick up with Narinn and Muir, because where had Narinn and Muir ended up?
I was sneaking around, invisible. Came across
Oh,
Narinn,
yeah.
dragged down the hallway. Made him a little invisibility doohickey, and I'm about to electrocute him so he can't get grabbed anymore.
Okay.
That's the side of things.
Then we'll all have escaped then, eh?
No.
Or no, Rurak's still in the jail.
And Zorgar.
Zorgar's also in jail.
Oh, no.
Zorgar's in jail with someone. Does anyone remember who Zorgar's in jail with?
I remember.
A bunch of people spoke.
Yeah.
Happy?
Oh, his dad.
Yeah.
His real
Big
dad.
Papa
His
Zorgar.
not real dad.
His
stepdad.
fake dad.
It's fake real dad.
Ah.
Dad 2.0.
His dad, but not his father. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, I believe where we had left off last week, you had cast the spell on Narinn, hadn't you?
I had passed him the little cog that could make him go invisible if he wanted to.
Okay, but you hadn't cast the spell yet.
No.
Okay. Well, it's gonna be initiative then. So, so whether we know the order the people are acting in. So, hang on. How do I now? I'm gonna have to go over here or some shit, and then yoink Muir and yoink Narinn.
You're yoinking me.
I'm yoinking people.
Yoink.
Yoink.
And now, do you guys remember who was escorting Narinn?
Two big dudes.
Yes.
Two of the claws. Maybe?
Yeah.
No. Yes?
Yes.
Are they two of the 10 claws?
There are two of them, yeah.
two infamous fucks.
That's why we're gonna run away real fast. Okay?
Jake, have I been looking at these guys for more than a minute?
Yeah, definitely.
Is there hit points more than mine?
Well, which one are you wanting to find out about?
What do the two of them look like?
So there's one that is there's a woman in red dragon glass plate mail. She's got a big old great sword on her back. And there is one who is black scaled and he's in black glass armor and he has a shield and a flail on his belt. And they're both currently manhandling you by the bicep.
Oh.
But, different biceps, obviously.
Has it been multiple minutes? Could I have looked at both of them? Or has it only been...
I'll tell you what, you can get 2 bits of info. So you can either choose 1 bit from each, or you can choose 2 from the same.
One for both. I don't have the book on me. It's armor class, hit points, level, and level and fighter, I believe.
Yeah.
I'll look at hit points for the lady with red dragon glass armor.
More than you.
Okay. I'll also look at level for that person.
What level are you? 13?
Yeah.
She has more fire levels than you.
Okay. And I do not have my Nautilus.
No. You don't really have anything.
Do I not have, do I have my armor and my cloak on?
No, your armor. You may have some armor, but like all
Not
your
the plate.
belongings were like taken away off you, and they're currently back with the army, as far as you know.
Right. Okay.
So you are weaponless. You've got your claws.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you were wearing any armor, it's probably been like stripped off you at this point. So you're probably basically just in like regular like underclothes, basically. Not as an underwear. That would be kind of weird. Like like your
I'm still wearing
trousers and t-shirt or whatever.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So I gotta go. I'm gonna select all of you guys. I toggle your combat states, and then if you roll for initiative, Matt, I will roll for the bad guys. One of them gets a 17. One of them gets a 5.
Oh my god.
And I need to roll for
Doesn't
Muir as
undo
well.
the 17.
Muir also gets a 17. But I mean, we never really.
Why
Aha!
is there a 0.16
Is that-
and a 0.15?
So that's the dexterity score, which it intends you to use for tiebreakers.
Why did it
Why
roll
did you roll
twice?
3? Yeah,
I
I don't know.
Is that
You-
plussing my...
Can I take the first
Big
one?
Yeah, you can take the first one. So, it is, yeah. You get your 2
Okay.
dexterity, and you get your half your intelligence of 3, and you got a dex of 15. But we've not really done the dexterity tiebreaker thing, so we would normally just roll off. That's how we normally do it. So we'll just do that again. So I'll roll that for the Black Knight. He gets the 12. Muir gets the. Okay, we'll go to dexterity then. Muir also gets a 12.
Just be.
So-
what was it?
12.
12. Both of you roll a 12.
Oh.
On the roll off. So we'll just go to dexterity. So they are slightly more dexterous than you.
No!
By 1 point.
No, fuck.
Oh
well.
No.
So
Is this fucked?
yeah, hang on. Aaron's in twice.
Can
That's
you
fine. Let's get
use,
rid of that.
can you use, what's it called? Inspiration for initiative rolls?
Sure. Yeah. Do you reckon you're gonna roll better than 17?
You could make them roll again.
You could actually.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, okay, yeah. That sounds like a better plan.
How do you have the ability to make people roll again?
It's just an
Initiative
inspiration
works.
thing.
Yeah, you can like impose
Ah.
disadvantage.
Oh, I didn't know inspiration did that.
Okay, so reroll. I take it you want the guy who's going before you to be rerolled, is that right? Okay, we get a 12 this time.
Oh,
So,
thank Jesus.
Oh.
Good call. Good call.
so, Narinn, you are being processed down the hallway by these two like Giga Knights, right? Your hands are manacled behind you. You're just kind of trudging along. There is very little chat from these two. And then you feel this kind of cold metal thing being pressed into your hand. And then... Did you do anything else last week, Muir? Did you like say anything to him?
Yeah. I said. I think it just said use it and then cast a spell on him.
Okay. So you cast the Freedom of Movement spell last week as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So then... Yeah, so Narinn, you feel this cold cog be pressed into your manacled hands. And you hear Muir's voice behind you. And then you get sort of tased. And you jolt 3 feet into the air. And the force of it, like, throws these knights' grasp of you off, and you are free of them.
Ho, ho, ho.
And it is your initiative. So what do you want to do? You're in basically a corridor.
And I want to
So there's
use
the way
it,
you're going.
whatever that means. The thing in my hand, I'm guessing.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, you just turn invisible then. I guess you squeeze the cog, and you're not really sure how it works, but like you like squeeze it, and then like there's this pricking sensation around your the palm of your hand, and that you feel this kind of like jolt, and then you look at yourself in your see-through, but you can see Muir standing behind you as these two knights turn around.
Hey, lads.
So Muir, it's you.
I am sprinting back the way I came.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. So you start legging it back around the corridor.
As soon as I get round a corner or past some kind of anywhere I'm obscured, I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself.
Sure. Okay. So, they are going to make opportunity attacks against you
Oh.
for leaving their space or their melee space. So, where's this boy? He's gonna. What's your armor class?
It's a fantastic question, Jake. I wish I could tell you.
Okay. Well, he misses because he rolls a 1. This lady is gonna attack you. She hits a 28. Does that hit? I assume that hits you.
Yeah, a little bit.
So you're gonna take 17 damage.
Okay, that's fine.
So you spring into, visibility in front of them, and they've just been, Narinn just got tased out of their hands, like tased into the ether, basically. And they turn around and they see you, and there's like this flash of recognition on their faces, and one of them, the Black Knight, he whips his flail off his belt as you turn around to scrap it. You feel it whiz past the back of your head, and then you feel this arcing slash all down your back, from the tip of this great sword that just nicks into you. Comes within an inch of absolutely severing your spinal cord, and you start legging it down the corridor. You are aware you are bleeding now, so
That's fine.
so you can you head around the corridor and you're able to escape around a corner out of sight, and you're able to cast invisibility if that is your wish. But you are also, you can see behind you, there are splatters of blood. So you're leaving a bit of a trail.
That's fine.
Sure.
Not much I can do about that, honestly.
It's true.
Nah.
Sure.
I'm gonna just kind of, against the wall for a bit and wait for them to run past me. And
Sure. Okay.
double back on myself.
Okay. So I mean, give us a stealth check. Except you can't give us a stealth check. I have to give you a stealth check for us. I suppose. So. Stealth. For Mal. 17.
Would my blood be invisible
Um.
if it's part of me?
Well,
good-
if
it's a
you're
good
holding
question.
something and then you drop it, like if you took off your cloak that you had on when you went invisible, would that still be invisible?
Let me read the spell. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible as long as it is on the target's person. So,
Okay.
so like if you're pressing up against the wall, like any like blood that like, because obviously some blood is going to come out your back onto the wall. That'll probably stay invisible because you're like pressed up against it. That's probably that'll stay
Okay.
invisible. But the blood spatters on the floor will pop into. In fact, you can kind of, as you turn around, you can see them popping into visibility.
Okay, that's fine.
And these two knights are going to take off. They take off around the corridor after you. They're yelling. They're yelling in Draconic.
Does my Duolingo help? Police.
You hear the. You hear is. You hear something about door. They have a door. They want a door.
Fools.
It's not really entirely sure.
Doors.
Narinn, you can. I mean, so like Narinn, when you turn invisible, do you do anything, or do you stay like where you are?
Trying to hold back from mocking them. But probably just sit still for a minute.
Sure.
Maybe goes up against the wall, doesn't sit in the middle of the corridor.
Okay.
Kind of waits to see if Muir will reappear, but if not, after like maybe a minute or so,
Sure.
well, fuck off.
Yeah. So you watch this. You watch Muir, just be missed by the flail and then get her back gets like cut open with this nasty glass greatsword, and you can see that she's speeding down the corridor and turns around a corner, and you can see all this blood on the floor, and they take off immediately after her. And one of them yells, "Guards! The separatist is escaping! Shut the gates!" Is what you hear.
Kind of, right?
But they're like yelling, right?
Alright.
Meanwhile, Rurak and H'rafn were in the jail cells, or Rurak was in his jail cell, and H'rafn had turned into a fly and had landed on Rurak's nose. And you tried to cast your spell and it hadn't worked. And then
Right.
a guard had come in saying the druids escaped. So you guys watch as the two guards. They have this. They start talking to one another in Draconic, and you're sort of unclear what it is they're saying. You definitely heard them say that one of the prisoners had escaped, and one of them was visibly panicked. And H'rafn, you recognize that even in your little fly form as the jailer that was watching you somewhat dozily. Do you guys have any reaction to that news?
I think my back was to the door.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I had like crap in my nose, be like, so they know you're gone. I don't know what you should do. Maybe you should go back to the cell. Maybe you should escape. I'm kind of worried about our stuff. Do you want to go find our stuff?
I think that's a good idea. I could reconnoiter just now because I can always come back to you. Would I know that Muir had escaped? I can't remember if I knew that Muir had escaped.
You knew that Muir did not arrive at the palace with you.
She could be anywhere there. I think I'll do that. I'll go and I'll communicate that to Rurak somehow.
Okay, how are you doing that as a fly?
I was gonna say.
I will
Interprets a
buzz
fly
twice, definitively, for yes.
Sure. Okay.
So I'll
So
I
I'll go
guess.
and look. I'm going to go and look for the stuff.
Sure. Okay.
H'rafn, give me one buzz for yes, two buzzes for no. Are you gonna go see our stuff?
Bzzz. Bzzz.
No. What are you gonna do
Oh,
then?
I thought it was 2 for yes. Sorry, I was saying 2 for yes. Right.
Well, 3? We didn't talk about 3.
I'm just worried about the duct tape.
Right. Well, go
Um,
do whatever you're gonna do, and I'll sit in my
Your
cell.
whispering is interrupted, Rurak, as one of the door slams shut again. You can see that another jailer, one of the jailers, the jailer just came in and like ran off again. And the jailer that is watching you, like, you know, he puts his hand up against the bars and he says in common, in somewhat broken, he says, "Where is he?
Where's who?
The elf. Where is he? I know you know."
Well, I've been in here the whole time, so I haven't seen H'rafn, so I don't know. You were the last person that saw him, right? So, why don't you tell me where he is? He's in one of the cells, right? That one? Or that one?
Kind of pushes away from the side, plunks himself down. You see, he draws the sword at his belt, though, and he keeps it like, you know, like sort of propped against his knee as he watches you.
That's a
and
nice
he's looking
sword.
Somewhat.
Doesn't look very sharp. I can fix that for you if you want. Nah. Fine. I'll kind of whisper to H'rafn, reckon we could take him.
Is it just the one dude?
Just one dude, yeah.
He's got a sword.
He does have a sword.
And we don't have any swords.
No.
But I could be a bear.
Alright. Jake, looking at the door,
Uh-huh.
is there any way I can pull a Will Turner and like know how the door is made and know the right leverage to lift it up and pull off the bars?
Pull a Will Turner.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Is there, give us a... Give us a Smith's Tools check, but with disadvantage because it's made in like a scalar style, like it's like
Okay.
partially glassed and stuff.
I don't know how to roll a Smith's Tools check.
Just give us a fucking, like, I don't know.
Let's give you a D20. Can I give you
Yeah,
two
roll a
D20?
d20 first and then see what happens. Like.
I believe I clicked disadvantage here, but wait, disadvantage. Roll. No, there it is. Is that right? Ooh, and that 20 and a 2.
Nice!
Yes.
Yeah, no, you have no idea. Like, you look at it and you're like, this door is pretty well made, you know, robust.
It's a nice door.
That's a nice hinge right there. I'm gonna use that design later.
You're like inspecting the door and then the jailer kind of is like, what are you doing?
I'm observing.
back in
your
your corner.
craftsmanship. My corner. Which corner?
That one.
I haven't claimed that. That's my corner.
Well, pick a corner and
Well, there's a lot of corners. There's like.
there's 4 corners.
No. There's 4 corners down there. There's 4 corners up there. It's a lot. It's a big choice. And
Just sit there and shut up.
All right. Turn it back to him. I speak to H'rafn like, H'rafn, I don't know how I'm gonna open this door, but if you can open it, then
What are you whispering?
maybe...
Who are you talking to?
What? This door? I'm praying. Have you heard of praying before? Look at me. I'm a priest. This is what I do.
My worry is if I sort of stopped being a blind, turned into like a gorilla to smash through the door. If I can't smash through the door, then we're just both locked in the same cell.
I thought you could turn into wee things all the time now.
No, that's true.
I can
Yeah.
turn into like sort of your sort of basic animals. I don't know if a gorilla would count.
No, I meant
So-
like if the
A
things
fly
wanted
to get
you
away,
could just
yeah.
you could just turn.
Oh, I
into
could
a
turn
bird
into a
or
fly and fly away.
Yeah.
Rurak's
That's
gonna
true.
look at H'rafn and be like, I know you're thinking of large animal vibes in a small space, but if you go outside the cell first and then turn to large animal, you can punch the door in as opposed to punch the door out.
It's been a long day, fair enough. Are we going to try and do this then? We're going to try and take this fucker.
I mean, there's only one of them, so.
You can both hear footsteps coming down the corridor again.
Oh. To be fair, I'm out of spells, so.
Lida
What
and
do you want? Do you want
Malbrin.
to try? Do you want to fight our way out? I can be a bear.
Mm-hmm.
Lida and Malbrin, and I guess Muir still has her stone, probably. Lida and Malbrin are both awoken by a message on the stone, and Muir, you hear it, and the message says, Narinn, can you hear? I come and rescue you all. Everyone all arguing ba 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 ba. So me and Ward and both your moms are coming rescue you from Valasar. Don't be dead, please. Okay, bye. Disconnect.
We're getting rescued by our moms.
How's stop? And then it goes out.
How embarrassing.
Well, Patrick, I'm game. If we could create some havoc, I could summon some bears. I could be a bear. I could run around. But the thing is, are you going to be all right? You won't have a weapon or nothing.
I'll be fine. Rurak would like to kind of go to the bit of the wall where the person can't see through the door, just a little blind spot at the sides, if that's okay, Jake.
Yeah.
And just call Thalnir.
Sure. Okay. So let us cut away at this point. To Zorgar in Zorgar's cell. Zorgar, you get led into your cell, and you see kind of he stands to attention as the door opens. He's like backed up against the wall. You see them go up against the wall and wherever, and they process you in, and they kind of shove you roughly in. And you see your dad's face go like, doesn't go white obviously, but kind of just the equivalent. And he looks at you, and he says, "Zorgar, is it really you?"
Yeah.
It's me, Zorgar.
And then there is this titanic impact, as for the first time in years, I don't know, maybe the first time ever in your life, your dad rushes over and he embraces you. I don't know if you guys hug, but
I feel like he probably wouldn't have.
Yeah, this is
let's
a
not
fairly
beat this,
notable
Dad's cooking,
hug.
I'd hug him.
And you can feel he squeezes you, and you can feel there's the side of your face is warm and damp as he pulls his face away, and you can see that he's crying. He says, "They told me you were dead. Does your mother is she alive?"
Yes. She's alive. I've seen her recently.
And then he there's another titanic impact, but that's him rocking up against the door, and he's reaching through the bars, grasping wildly towards. There's this kind of blue-scaled jailer that is watching, kind of went up against the wall, grinning. And your dad says, "I'll gut him! Bring me the king, and I will tear his throat out!" And then he kind of sort of composes himself.
Why are you in here?
He sort of slumps against the wall, and then slumps down to his knees, and he starts sobbing. He says, well, actually, he moves to say something, and then the jailer on the other side of the door kind of grins and says, "Treason!" And your dad shoots him this look, and he says,
I thought that you were, good with the king. I thought you liked him.
he says that he figured it out. He figured out that you were.
So, are you in here because of me?
No. Well, no.
What happened?
He summoned me he wanted to speak to me and get my counsel. As a military advisor, he asked if my son Zorgar and Zorgar Mark X on the mainland were any relation. And I told him no. And then he asked what I suggest he did. In his stead, he was contemplating whether or not to just to strike it. I think he was just... It was a game. It didn't matter what I told him.
But sure. Were the other people in the military not like? Did they not help you?
No. They claim I am in league with you and your brother.
How could that possibly be the case? I haven't seen you for years.
I don't know. I'm not sure if he just... You haven't come here for me, have you?
Here specifically, or?
Well, to the
Uh,
capital. Why are you here? They told me you were dead.
I didn't think you would have wanted to see me particularly. But I'm here with my party, including Narinn, to try and, serve a bit of justice.
The jailer laughs. He sort of
Shut up!
like comedically laughs. He says, that's priceless.
Enough from you, mate.
He kind of leans up against the bars. He says, or what? And then he spits on you.
I'll spit back at him.
He kind of dances back out of the way, but you see it graze inside of his cheek, and he kind of brushes it off and then sort of pipes down for a minute.
Fucking hell, mate.
And your dad says, what? So they captured you?
Yes. Fortunately, after avoiding him for years, captured me and Narinn. Don't know where he's taken Narinn. Took him down the opposing corridor from me. So I don't know where he's ended up.
I don't know.
Yeah, they got me and Narinn at the same time. Yeah, he's got a very tight grasp over this island.
Yes.
I don't know what we should do. Obviously, we can't stay here forever. How long have you been here?
He says, I don't know, months.
Months.
The jailer says, you'll be waiting very long.
I won't be waiting very long? Oh, right. Is there a window in here?
There is a kind of a grated bar in the top, kind of like back wall, like just kind of where it meets the ceiling. It's like basically like a brick is missing and has been replaced with like 3 kind of glass bars.
Bars.
Yeah.
Okay. And how's the room like? Is it a double height room?
It's not quite double height. It's like 10 feet to the ceiling. 12 maybe.
So I could probably almost reach it.
Yeah. You could definitely like you could kind of like clamber up to the bar, but like the missing gap is too small for a Zorgar to fit through, if that makes sense. Because like
It's
the
only
gap
one
is only
brick.
like it's like maybe this big.
Is it nighttime right now?
No, it's kind of early morning, kind of approaching noon.
Oh, okay.
Your dad says, "Your mother did the egg. Did it? Has it hatched?"
Not yet. She still has it now. It's safe. I don't know where she is right now, but I did see her not long ago. I've been with her. She's been with me whilst we've been on this island. So she's been well protected.
Good. I'm glad she's well.
She might be with my other mom right now.
He kind of looks up, kind of confused. What do you mean?
You know,
Sorith's alive?
yeah, she's alive. She's been away for a while, but she's still alive. She's not been very safe for her here, so she has managed to keep herself alive by, keeping a low profile the last wee while. You know the king, not particularly kind man, especially to his family.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure he'd be very interested in seeing her again.
Yes. What's the jailer doing? Is he just like sitting there?
Yeah, he's basically just sitting there, like he's like he's got kind of his legs are stretched out in front of him, one's crossed over the other. He's like leaning back, just kind of watching. Big grin
He's
on his
watching
face.
us.
Yeah.
When are we getting taken to be hung? Tomorrow?
Oh well, I mean. Depends really. I don't know if it'll even be hanging. Could be the headsman's block or the pyre. Then I had pyre for a while. Certainly, there's nothing left of you on the pyre. No matter.
What's pyre? Is that
Like a big fire.
burnt?
Uh,
A great big fire.
It's not going to be very effective.
Oh, and gets the job done. And no matter which god you serve, there's never enough to bring you back. And he kind of grins.
Are you well read on God's eye?
He sort of just like kind of like raises a brow plate and doesn't reply.
I'll take that as no, I'm a fucking idiot.
Like he looks like he's trying to come up with some kind of pithy comeback, but he doesn't really get anywhere. So he starts kind of like angrily picking at his nails or his kind of his claws or whatever. So that feels like a good place to cut back to Narinn and Muir. You're both invisible in the palace. You hear Muir. You see the two knights thunder past you.
Idiots.
They're yelling. You can hear quite quickly. There's quite a lot of other people start yelling. And it sounds like kind of throughout the palace, people are mobilizing to do something. What is your plan?
I'm gonna sneak back the way to Narinn again and It's gonna go, Aaron, are you in here? And see if we get anywhere.
Sure. Narinn, what have you been doing for the past couple minutes? Or well, immediately
Are
after
there any
being
windows?
sprung. There's a window down the hall, yeah. I mean, the whole thing is made of glass.
Eyeing up the
but,
window,
sure, okay.
trying to judge from his previous mistakes.
I mean, you feel like you just didn't have the angle quite right on it, and you're being held back by it. You know, if you had a running start and you did a forward roll through it, you could probably totally bust that window.
All right.
And as you were kind of sizing it up, you hear Muir whisper down the corridor. It kind of echoes and reverberates. You can't see where it's coming from. But there are some fresh splatters of blood on the ground.
Can I deduce where Muir is from the splatters of blood?
Give us a perception check.
Oh.
22, yeah. You're like, she must be about there. And as you guess, you can also see there's a very faint shimmering outline of a person once you kind of peg where it is.
I'm going to walk up really close before I answer.
Sure.
Dick.
You get pretty close.
Yes, Muir.
Backhand there by accident.
By accident. My face is like 2 foot above your head.
You know, just
You'd have to be aiming for that.
Oh, I don't know, man. You should have scared her, right? Okay, so I came in through the servants' quarters, and hopefully we can still get out that way.
What about the others?
We'll find the others. We just have to find a barrel or somewhere to hide first.
I know roughly the direction Zorgar is in. That's about all I've got.
Okay.
I
Maybe
also
we
know
can
where
go...
Valasar is. How long are we invisible? Do we have time for a quick drive-by assassination?
That's a good question. How long are we invisible?
It's a while, I think.
Alright.
An hour.
Oh, an hour. Cool, right.
Fucking
Feels like enough time.
I've got more where they come from as well. So we have a few options. I had a backup plan in case you do something really stupid, like jump out that window.
I wasn't going to jump out a window.
Through the window? Excuse me?
No. I was going to walk down the corridor like a normal person.
Yeah, sure. Okay. You know, we have options. There must be a treasury around here somewhere. And I'm thinking...
I like your thinking.
Sick magic items, because...
You can hear footsteps thundering down the corridor.
I back up against the wall. Pull them with me.
A troop of guards run past.
Idiots. Right, okay.
Narren's maybe just sniggering to himself.
So, you know, I think as long as we're careful, we can kind of have maybe a little scout of the palace, find everybody, make a plan then.
Okay, so you want to figure out where everyone is before we start busting open cells and...
Probably, in case, you know, no offense to anyone, but there is a tier of usefulness and breaking people out of category. You know, people who can turn into flies and giant bears probably going to come in a lot more handy than other people.
I'm edging towards the elemental type thing. I'm just trying to work out could an air elemental, Jake, smack down the cell door?
I don't know.
Stab.
Maybe.
Okay.
You know, somehow I don't know why, but I feel like H'rafn might be more of an elemental guy today. Yeah, just getting that sensation. Right.
I don't know where anyone else is, but I know roughly the direction Zorgar's in, so we can go scout out that area.
Right, that's a good idea. I've also got a really bad idea. If things go completely tits up, I can make a little construct, and perhaps we can hold Valasar hostage for everybody's lives, because just pretend it will blow his head off if it doesn't. You know, there's options.
I feel like we're in the capital of a large nation. They might have a wizard or two that will see through this ploy.
This is what I was thinking, right? But they can't detect magic on a construct, so they're just gonna have to take my word that it's gonna do whatever I say it's gonna do.
Okay, sure.
Again, this is really tits up plan, but
Can I attempt to stab him first?
oh, of course, by all means.
Yay!
You know.
Okay,
I
so I
don't-
need a knife. Or a
Yeah.
trident, preferably
Yeah.
a trident.
I'm sure they'll have. Actually, they probably won't because it's not a fishing village here. But
You hear a
That's to
big
the sea.
creaking sound, and then kind of throughout the palace, you hear the sound of large sets of doors being shut.
we should probably
I
try and
think
find
some kind
Zorgar.
of lockdown is coming into effect.
Yeah, well, as long as we're invisible, what can they absolutely do? Let's go. Let's go find Zorgar.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Okay.
So you guys are going to go and head off and try and track down where Zorgar is.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sure.
Zorgar, Treasury, and everybody else. I think that's the.
That's the order.
No, I meant that's the list.
In order, right?
In order.
How does it feel to rank lower than the treasury, guys?
It's just a to-do list. Listen, you need weapons, you know? What's Narinn gonna do to anyone in this state? Jump at them?
I hate to say, but
He can breathe
weapons
fire.
are normally
Yeah,
kept in the
you're-
armory and not in the treasury.
Hey, blah blah blah. I'm Narinn. I know where weapons are kept. Let's go.
Also, scale is the place where my fire breath is most useless, and it is typically useless in a standard affair. Never
Exactly.
mind on scale.
Right, let's find the armory. And yeah, okay, let's just go. Let's go. Let's see what we find.
Sure. Okay. So you head down. How are you navigating together when you're both invisible?
Grab him.
Grab him. Okay.
Yeah. Does Narinn have his secret shoe rope for
He's too zappy for you to grab him.
sailoring?
Here.
Sorry?
You go to grab him, and then there's like
Oh,
this kind of
fuck's
static shock,
How long does that last for?
like an hour.
Fucking hell. Right, okay,
Does Narinn have like a spare lace or something on his shoe?
Yeah. You can take a lace out of your shoe.
I'll take a lace and tie my wrist to Muir's wrist
Sure. Okay.
with some nice sailor's knots.
Well, you are both wearing manacles. Well, you're wearing manacles. Muir isn't.
Oh, does that mean I'm not jingle?
You are
Well,
going
no,
to
he's
do
not-
that.
like this?
he's
right?
not wearing manacles.
Oh,
anymore.
oh yeah. The manacles get zapped off, I think. Yeah. So you're actually
Oh.
yeah. You can do it. Yeah.
Sick. I'll do that. Slightly, tase Muir every now and then by accident on
Sure.
time. Not.
The things I do.
Sure. So you guys start processing down the corridor, and there's a bend, and you go down and turn the bend, and you can see the end of the corridor. Like Narinn, like this. So this kind of, when you were coming from the throne room, you sort of went at some point. You went "Wah," and then you and Zorgar parted ways at this point, right? And the gateway into the bit where you parted ways is shut with these big glass doors. And you can see, because it's glass, you can see there's a bar on the other side.
Alright. I have an idea.
Okay.
Let's play knock knock. If we knock on the door, I won't see who's there, but then maybe open it to go investigate.
That's a great idea. Or yeah. Wait. Yeah, or you could yell, "They're this way, quick!" in a draconic voice, and hopefully they run this way and we nip through,
Yeah, but that also maybe brings the people from behind us to us as well.
Again, we're invisible,
You can hear the people from behind you coming back down the corridor.
Yeah. To a wall.
To a wall.
Narinn, you hear one say, "Well, these are the manacles." You hear some jingling.
Okay. So they're at the manacles.
They
They've
must be
fallen
around here
into the
somewhere. They
trap.
can't have gotten far.
Do I see any windows?
Go through it.
So there's a window back down the corridor.
None at this stage, then?
No.
Okay. Okay. I guess let's play knock knock with the door.
Sure, okay.
Duk, duk, duk.
So you go up and what was that? That was a knock. And you hear people come around the corridor. One of the guards is carrying 2 sets of manacles. They've all got their swords drawn. They're wearing fairly nice ceremonial armor. But you can still tell by looking at them that they're not any great shakes. They're quite good guards, but they're still just your standard guard. Some of them look a bit kind of taken aback to be actually having to do guard stuff. But yeah, you go up and knock the door, and they start looking around. So can you both give us a stealth check?
Do we get advantage for being invisible?
You do get advantage for being invisible.
Uh-huh.
And we're not wearing any armor or anything like that.
21. Oh, got a nat 20.
Ooh.
And a 19. Those were good.
Muir gets an 18 total. And these dudes do not see you. They're kind of going up, and they're still the bloodstains. They go up to the door, and they kind of we can't get through now. But now the guards are just standing at the door, which is still barred.
Do they have any convenient keys? Strapped to their backs or
no
bags?
To their backs.
And stuff.
How big is this key?
Keys, just dangling from their bums.
No obvious rings of keys on these
Anything
guards.
fun? Patches.
No, they're wearing capes. Not exciting capes, fairly thin capes. They reach down to the back of their knees. They're in different colors.
What do you reckon? Double down, knock again, or?
Dunno.
Because other than jumping through a window, I'm kind of. Wait, Naryn's original thing before jumping through windows was kicking down doors. How strong does this door
It's a big door. But
with a running start.
So it's a big door, right? The big glass.
Can I
set
spend a
double
minute
doors.
judging the armor class of the door?
Sure, yeah, it's high, right? Because it's a big glass door, and there's also a large, kind of square, big log barring the door on the other side. But you'd look at it and you're like, that'd be a super impressive door to kick down.
That's why I'm thinking Earth Elemental, they can take double damage against buildings and structures and stuff.
Meanwhile, back on the mountaintop, Xarxan and Sorith, you're with the rest of the army as everyone is kind of getting ready to descend, and then you hear, they're all kind of packing everything up. The temple is it's still there, but there are these patches of holes that kind of float around on it and stuff like that. You can see it's kind of losing form. And then you hear a voice from one of the soldiers kind of runs over to where the new acting Captain Kareth is and says, "Captain, the Queen, she's gone. The construct and the kobold too." And there's a lot of murmuring. And then the murmuring kind of turns to a loud discussion, and then there's kind of a bit of shouting in some quarters, and you can both see that kind of in the center of the army, there's sort of a ring is naturally forming around Captain Kareth and Samorn, Zorgar's lieutenant. They're arguing with one another. What do either of you guys do, if anything, in light of this information? Do either of you have any kind of reaction to it?
Not really.
I don't think so, because Sarv hasn't been there very long.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, well, you kind of overhear as there's general patches of arguments happening. These arguments kind of gradually die down to give precedence to this larger argument that is happening between Kareth and Samwern. And like sort of kind of as once you're able to start picking out what they're saying to each other, you can see there's a lot of like pointing and gesticulating from them, and then everyone else kind of pipes in, and you can hear them arguing with one another. And Samwern says, "We wouldn't even be in this mess if your commander wasn't a coward. The Sixth never back down, never surrender." And Kareth says, Our commander has been responsible for everything. If Lord Zorgar had his way, we'd still be sitting in the fortress. The commander is no coward. This decision lies with Lord Zorgar, and Captain Gor's blood is on his hands." And there's kind of from other people. There's kind of people are like, yeah, that's right, yeah, fuck you, man. Fuck you, man.
You need. Alright, everyone in here needs to calm down. Placing blame. What's that going to solve right now? What's that going to do?
You kind of you largely get ignored. Samwern says, "Your commander cannot even keep his allies on his side. His decision to maim that spy cost us Lady Stoneward." And then Kieran's like, "What?" "Lord Zorgar has just as much responsibility for Torvax's fate as the commander does. He just conveniently fled once hard choices had to be made." And there's more. You can see them, sizing each other up and shoving and stuff like that, and it's all kind of going a bit rough.
I go over to my dude.
Yeah, Saros is just kind of watching all this, and most of the Black Barbs are also kind of watching this. This is mostly an argument between Zorgar's Legion and Naryn's Legion, by the looks of things. He kind of looks at you as you come over.
Oh, useless arguing.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Seems like the group kind of needs a leader. What do you think about that?
He says, "I think the problem is they have two." And you kind of zone back in, and Samwern is like, "Do not speak to us of hard choices. Lord Zorgar has made more than his fair share on the battlefield. If only your commander had any actual military experience, we wouldn't be in this mess." And there's more kind of like spatting, and you're like, "Yeah, that's right, yeah, fuck you, man, yeah, fuck you." And then everything kind of dies down, and you hear Samwern say, "You're right." And then everyone's kind of like, "Hang on, what? That's not how you doing an argument? What?" And Samwern says, "Captain Kareth, it is plain to see that you're out of your depth, and that this farce has gone on long enough. Lives are on the line if we do not act quickly and responsibly, and as a result..." He kind of he looks like he's kind of having a bit of a freak out. He says, "I am relieving you of your command immediately and taking control of this army." And then everyone kind of freaks out again. There's they start punching each other, actually. And Sarah's just kind of looks at Zorith and is like,
Oh.
It's like,
Did
see?
the drink not bring us all together? I suppose it didn't.
It's only ever temporary.
That's true.
Sarzan, what is your reaction to any of this? If indeed you have.
He's probably just not really phased by it. He's
Mhm.
probably just sticking by the black barbs and whatever they are.
Yeah, they're also kind of
Yeah,
largely
reaction.
just watching. Once the fight actually breaks out, Orman kind of like leans over. He's like, "So Belzeros, you served with the commander. What do you reckon the odds are of this actually coming right? This whole situation. I'm starting to wonder if we maybe shouldn't have gotten involved in politics."
I am feeling similar. From my experience, the party seem to put themselves in very compromising positions and then somehow always make it out. So, honestly, I don't have any expectations, to be honest. I think they could maybe turn up tomorrow, and I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, this is quite the situation that they're in.
Yep. He's kind of you see he's kind of like he's like listening to you, but he's also just now kind of like focusing on the things they get kind of pulled apart. Kareth and Samorn. And Samorn says, "You have no plan! We are wandering aimlessly down a mountainside while our commanders lie in mortal peril, and our brothers and sisters are marooned in a forest that only one soldier in this unit knows the location of!" And they kind of point. He kind of points, gesticulates roughly in the direction of Xarxan. And Kareth says, "We are descending the mountain and waiting for the commander to return." And Samorn says, "No, they are not coming back. Valasar will slaughter them. Do you not see that?" And they kind of sort of, there's a lot of people going, "Yeah, fuck you, man. Fuck you. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's no, yeah, fuck you, man." Do either of you have any kind of reaction to that?
No.
Sure. I mean, it's quite a show, actually. Like, there's a lot.
Yeah, I'm kind of just watching. I'm
Yeah.
like semi-enjoying the performance. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, I sort of have the feeling that it doesn't matter who the commander is. It's just like we're all here for a common goal. Let's just fucking do it.
Sure. Yeah.
So they find this like kind of argument just like a bit unnecessary, but they also find it entertaining.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So there's a big like hubbub. And it dies down, and then Kareth says, "The commander has a plan. We just have to trust him." And Samorn says, "No, get a hold of yourself. The commander has no plan. There has never been a plan. We have to recover our comrades, or they will die. That is the only thing that matters then." And Kareth says, "If the commander had wanted that, he would have left to the circles with the commander and what he would have wanted. He doesn't know what he's doing. Okay? I do. I know that our men are somewhere there." And he points at Xarxan and he says, "And he is the only one that knows how to get there. So we have to go and get them." And Kareth says, "There's no point. There is no route there. Xarxan said so himself. We have to have the druid. We have to get to the bottom of the mountain and wait for them to return. That's the only option." And then everyone kind of turns to look at Xarxan.
We kind of put our eggs in a druid basket, and now the druid basket is missing.
I mean, if you had something to fly on, like we could go and take some of the drakes. If we had that, we could do it, but that's a whole military operation in itself.
What's the percentage of troops here and at that location?
As like, I think it's roughly 60 or 70, like 65 here, 35 over there. So it's like quite a sizable chunk.
All the eggs in a druid basket.
It's a big druid basket.
That's a lot of eggs in there.
Yeah, the only way other than druids is flight. And we don't have things that fly.
Well, I mean, there must be, as Samorn says, there must be some way. Look, if there's no route, we'll just have to make a route.
That could take years. And it's not exactly a stealth operation, it's right next to a military compound, isn't it? Oh wait, I don't know that. Never mind.
There's a lot more arguing. Hey, fuck you, man. Fuck you. And, there's a couple other little like brawls break out.
Quick question: does anyone in the army have a sending stone? Does Balak? Oh, Balak's is gone. Does
Yeah,
anyone
yeah.
else other than Balak has one?
Gek has one now.
Gek
but
has
he
one now.
fucked off.
Okay.
Yeah, Andy used it already.
Wait, where did Gek even get it from?
Did Muir give him one?
Gek's gonna save the day.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, you were like, take this and run
Yeah.
or something. If it goes bad.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
So wait, is that your stone then?
I think it might have been.
So
Where's
we
all of
have no
your
idea.
stones?
They're taken. No, they'll be with the army.
So did the army also hear the Sending Stone message?
That's a good
No,
question.
no one mentioned anything about that.
Just,
It sounds like the only people that
yeah.
actually have heard Gek's message are Lyda and Mulrin. Yeah, there's more kind of arguing and so on, and then it kind of dies down again. And Kara says, if you head that way, you go straight towards Carthan Facade. You're as good as dead. Okay? The commander has left me in charge of this unit. He has left you in charge of your unit, not mine. And there's more kind of like, well, we're all the same fucking unit. Fuck you, man. And then basically Samorn kind of turns around. He says, the Sixth do not abandon their brothers and sisters. Those of you too gutless to remember that, you could stay here with the Eighth. But those of you who are a member of the Sixth, who remember that, what we stand for, what we have always stood for, what Lord Zorgar stands for, we go that way. We go and we retrieve our men. And then he starts like marching off. And quite a large portion of the army starts marching with him.
Good speech.
And Sarah's kind of like looks at Sorith, and he says, so it's been like 4 days, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Do you think we what do you think we do here? I mean, I trust you to speak your mind.
Well, I mean, it's always been my opinion that, I didn't really like a commander that much anyway. They were rude to me. Or at least one of them was. So, it's not the whole unifying thing here isn't those two commanders, it was the fact that everyone didn't like Valasar. So, just because they're gone doesn't change anything. We still have the same amount of men and we're in the same situation as we always were. It's just now that the people that were telling us where to go are now gone, so we can just choose what we're going to do ourselves. And I don't know about the men missing, because it's like there's a lot of stuff that you need to get them back. But if there was some way to even get to Karen Tall and just even cause a distraction.
He says that's true. He kind of looks like he's in thought. Zar's a new kind of a lot of the Black Barbs are sort of like, what do we do? And then Samorn, kind of at the head of the 6th Legion, kind of like marches up to you and he says, Bill Zero's through with us if you know the route. He just seems to assume that you're like you're on his side with this.
The route to what?
Where the rest of the army are.
Well, I know, like, where it is. I don't know how to get there. Like, I couldn't just walk there.
Well, how close can we walk?
Jake, how close can we walk?
I mean, you know how to get like to like the foot of the mountain that you're on. It might be climbable, but it would take like a lot of work. It'd have to be involved with a lot of like putting stakes and stuff like that. So you're like, it's not like it's you're a ranger and you're like, yeah, there's probably some kind of crazy way to actually get up there on foot, but it would like it was basically like there's no way an army could get up there on foot, but like some number of people, like a small number of people, or in a very very long procession, it's possible to find some kind of route down, probably by like free climbing.
You could send a message up to them by shooting an arrow with a note attached to it and tell them to abseil down. It's a solid plan.
I've had a stroke of genius. Yeah, what's Ormond doing?
Ormond's kind of like like you got there are black barbs there up there with everyone else, so he's kind of like, well, if this lot are going, then I guess we should probably go. And Xarxan's the only one that knows the way, so he seems to kind of be like, I guess we're going.
All right, then yeah, we're going.
Yeah, the 8th Legion start marching. So Samar is marching down the side of the mountain that the other Legion, the one that just sieged you guys, went down, like where Karth is. Like that's the route he's taking. Karth is like going down the other side of the mountain, the side you guys came up. And so like the 8th Legion are already like marching off. So it's kind of just like the 6th Legion are talking to the Black Barbs right now, and Zaros's dudes are kind of like caught in the middle, not really sure what to do. Yeah, so in fact that seems like quite a good place to cut back somewhere. Rurak and H'rafn, you guys are in the jail cell. You can hear footsteps coming down the corridor. What is your guys' plan?
I just called
time?
Thalnir.
You did, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you kind of sort of casually kind of mosey your way into a corner of the cell that is kind of difficult to see, and you go, and then there's kind of a distant peal of thunder, and then you feel the heft of your hammer appear in your hand.
Yep.
Yeah, the footsteps are
H'rafn,
getting louder.
I guess you see that, H'rafn. I'm in the cell with the hammer. I'm gonna motion to like.
So you're armed then, that's fine. That would be
Oh.
enough for me because I've been swithering whether we can fight our way out of this, and I figure if nothing else, everyone else is going to try and escape. So
Yeah.
I'm figuring if I go Earth Elemental, I can smash down, or I've got a better chance of smashing down the cell. I can always summon a couple of bears as well, and and we just fight like fuck.
Aye. Sounds like a plan.
Excellent.
Sure, okay. So what is your plan, H'rafn?
Now, Jake, see when I was sort of trying to find Rurak, would I have got much of a lay of the land? Like, I didn't find anyone else, obviously, did I?
You didn't find you scouted out the cell block you were in and the cell block that you found Rurak in. You didn't see anyone else in there.
What did I see in the way of guards? Like, lots and lots of guards, or?
You didn't see that many guards, actually. You saw mostly just the jailers. You could see kind of guards heading back, returning to elsewhere in the palace. It was when you kind of met up with Rurak, it was fairly dead on the ground in terms of the guards, but you could hear a lot of footsteps coming.
All right then. Well, I will buzz out of the cell. Now, do I have to turn back to H'rafn first to summon the bears?
Yes.
And then I can turn back. Oh, I can't do that all at once, can I? I can't turn back to H'rafn, summon the bears, and then turn into an elemental in one go, can I? Because it's an action. Is it an action to turn back?
I think it's
It is, isn't it?
I think it's a bonus action to turn back or to change form. So yeah, you'd have. I think you'd have to turn back into H'rafn and some of the bears, or just turn straight into wherever you're gonna go as and not have any bears.
Yeah, I'd like to have the bears, but then it does leave us kind of open because Rurak will be trapped inside the cell and unable to fight, and I have no weapon. So I think what I'll do is turn into an earth elephantal, and start pounding on the cell door for double damage.
Sure. So are you staying inside the cell and pounding on the door,
No,
or are you
I'm
going
going
outside
outside first.
Okay. Right, hang on. Let me
I
draw.
mean, okay, but yeah, I mean, Rurak probably can't. Rurak would probably try to communicate to H'rafn, like, I got the hammer, could probably take out the door myself. Yeah. Yeah, Rurak will probably say it to H'rafn and be like, Before you go out, I can probably handle the door. If that changes your plans in any way.
It would mean I could summon bears. But of course, like, if you've got your hammer and you're a blacksmith, you should be able to smash the door.
Probably.
Because
Yeah.
that way, I was thinking it might be better if I was an air elemental, because of I could zoom in and out and I can do more things to the peoples.
You do whatever you think is best. Rurak will try and take down the door.
Are you confident you can do the door?
I mean, I'm not confident, but I'm confident you'll survive at least a turn out there alone.
Yeah. Right, I'll do that then, Jake. I will change the plan. I will fly out of the thing, turn back into H'rafn, and summon some bears.
Okay, give me just 1 minute to show you guys the lay of the land here, because it may change your plans, I don't know. So I press activate. That brings everyone to the scene, right?
Yes.
You can see where Rurak is, and you see where H'rafn is, and you see where the guard is. And then if I go here, transition that, then now the stream can see. So yeah, so this is the layout of the land. There is a door. Can I draw a door? There's a door like here. There seems like where the footsteps are coming for, because there's no doors anywhere else. So yeah, so there's currently just the one guard. So I go weep. We begin the combat. So if you guys roll for initiative.
I roll for initiative. How do I go about that?
That's a good question.
You click on the word initiative on the character sheet.
What's that noise?
Thank you. I rolled with advantage there, but I think it's because I had the shield
Yeah, you got
normally,
the shield,
which I
yeah.
don't.
Oh, that's a good point.
What was
So
the big noise?
should I just roll a fresh roll and take that value?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
How do I roll for initiative then? Where is it?
4.
You click the word initiative above the
On your
number.
character sheet.
Oh, I'm in the spell book, that's why I can't see it.
Oh, I think I have +1 dex. 5.
5.
5.
That was very loud, whatever was going on there.
Yeah, I heard it as well, super loud.
What was
I
it?
can't find initiative.
It's in your character sheet.
I'm on the character sheet.
Underneath your XP bar and stuff.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking right at it. Sorry. Clicked it. Mine's very laggy tonight.
Okay, I can't do anything about that. Okay, 7. So the guard will go. You guys will probably surprise the guard. So H'rafn, you were opening by flying out the cell and summoning bears. Is that right?
That's my plan.
Okay. So
I'm excited to be a part of it.
I go. Monsters. Is it brown bears? I think it is. I got 1 brown bear. 2 brown bears.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's somewhat challenging for a bear to fit in here. Is the only thing that changes your plan.
I was actually quite not banking on the fact that they were going to be quite big to fit in there, but I figured like it puts bears in front of me and guard, but it's not actually going to work out that way, is it?
Well, I mean, it depends where. I just kind of moved you roughly out of the cell. Like, you can kind of go wherever you want in the room.
I kind of want to try and put bears between me and guards until
Okay.
such times I can turn into something.
So more like that then.
That sounds like the plan.
Sure. Okay. Sure. So that's H'rafn's go. So that will kind of yeah, Rurak, you also get a kind of surprise turn if you want to take advantage of your surprise in any
Sure,
manner.
I'm gonna go ahead and just take a big swing right on the lock.
Go for it. Give us an attack roll.
An attack roll. Right. Hang on. I gotta figure out how to do that.
So in your inventory, if you click on the Thonir icon, I think it will then give you a little card in the chat if you to go.
I've got usability. I don't want to do that. Because that's the throwing the hammer. Can I just make a straight weapon attack? Is that? How about what? Okay, I'm going to roll a d20. Is it strength or dex that would?
Strength.
So, strength is +3. Do I also get proficiency?
You do, yeah.
Which is +5? Yes. So, +8 is 19 to hit on the lock itself.
Yeah, that will hit the lock.
Oh, actually, 20, because a +1.
Sure.
Cool, and it's just a straight damage.
Yeah.
I'm not reading where the damage value of the hammer.
It's a D8, I think.
Is it D8?
But you get a D8 of extra thunder damage as a cleric.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So, and then another one of those is 6 plus 3 is 9.
9.
Plus strength is +3. So,
Right.
and it's a +1.
Mhm.
So 13 points of damage on the
Sure.
lock.
So you watch as H'rafn materializes in the cell, and these spectral bears materialize out of the ground, and you take your cue to just thump the lock on the door with Thelnir, and you get this big crack, and there's this sort of like ear-splitting ring. Of like the kind of sound of hitting an anvil, but also like this really like crystalline, like glass note to it, and the cell door kind of goes like, it's still stuck, but like another hit like that will probably kind of certainly knock it open enough for you to escape,
Okay.
And the guard goes ah! Basically.
All right, sweet.
So it is then the top of the round. So it is the guard's turn. The guard already has his sword drawn, so he's gonna attack the bear. Probably somewhat equally. That'll hit the bear for 17. And that'll be the guard's turn, really. So H'rafn, it's you.
Right, I am going to turn into an air elemental.
Sure. Now, we'll just do the fancy vendor thing. Let's see here. Air element. Drag air elemental onto H'rafn. And go wild shape. And now you're an air elemental. Okay. Sure. Okay. Yeah, you turn into an air elemental.
Right,
You
can I
start
go and
whispering.
smack up the guard?
Yeah, sure. I think you just,
I'm just like, because there's something about if I go into his space, he can get overwhelmed.
sure.
Hold on. Yeah, because he can fit into whatever space and stop there. And where is it? Whirlwind. So, ooh, this is going to be tricky. If I go on top of him like that, is that enough to affect the bear? Or is the bear technically in its space?
The bear is out with that space.
Oh, excellent, right. So, because he's in the space, he must make a DC 13 strength saving throw. On a failure, he takes 3d8 plus 2 damage and is flung 20 feet away from the elephantal in a random direction and knocked prone. But I don't know, does that happen after I've smacked him upside the head?
You do that instead of smacking him upside the head.
Oh. Ooh. Well, I suppose if I smack him upside the head, start of next round, he's in my space, so he gets the thing as well, doesn't he? No.
So you can the whirlwind is a recharge ability. So you can use the whirlwind, and then you have to roll a die every time to see if you can use it again, right?
Okay. Right, no, I'll smack him. There's just one, so I'll smack him.
Sure.
And maybe save it, and then we'll see.
Okay.
So 2 slam attacks. Did I do the attack? It's been a week while since I've attacked anything. Did I do it from this thing here?
Yeah. So if you so I've turned you into an air elemental. So if you double click yourself, and you go to your inventory, you got a slam thing. You can click the little icon, and that'll put a little card in chat that'll let you do the attack roll and the damage and stuff.
I just click on the slam thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Did I do it twice for 2 slams?
Do it one at a time first, but yeah.
Right, I've clicked. I don't know if it's doing anything because of lag, so I've just clicked on slam.
Did you click the icon or the word?
I clicked the word.
Click the icon. Yeah.
Icon keeps disappearing.
Yeah, it turns into a D20 and you click that. There you go.
Right, that's one clicked.
And then press attack
Where did I press attack?
in the chat.
Oh, sorry, I was on the thingy. Right, I've got you. Okay. Thank you, so that makes
That's
sense now.
I mean, we haven't had a fight for a few months actually now.
Don't know why it's so laggy. It's never normally this laggy for me.
And then press the damage button on that card. Because that'll hit him.
Damage button on where?
So the where you just press attack, press damage underneath it.
Hold on. I'm not seeing that. Sorry, son.
I can just press it. There we go.
I can only see the slam thing. Oh, the damage, it's lagging, it's just come up there.
Right. Okay, so that's 8.
So that's slam 1, here's slam 2, electric boogaloo. Oh man, right. Did it roll?
You're just bringing hang on. You're just bringing the card in again.
Oh, I see it, right, so I just hit attack. I'm sorry. It's not, honestly, it's never been this laggy. It's not normally laggy for me at all.
Oh, sorry, that I was pressing buttons. Ignore that.
Making a mess of things.
I know.
A 13 is not gonna hit him.
What? No.
So you sort of surge forward as your air elemental, and you kind of thwomp him. You kind of uppercut him, and then you go for a downward strike, and he's kind of like staggered back, kind of dodges out of the way of it just barely. He's holding his sword like this. You can hear these footsteps getting closer and closer. And then it's your bears. Only one of the bears can really do anything.
Jake, do you want to roll for him
Yeah,
then? Because
I can
I
do that.
suspect it will take me ages with...
Right, so makes one bite attack. That will just
I like the new things. They didn't used to do this.
makes a claw. That doesn't hit him. Yeah, so one of your bears kind of bares its fangs and lunges forward and takes a big chunk out of his shoulder. And he's kind of trying wildly to bat it away with his sword. He looks woefully out of his depth. So Rurak, is you.
Right. Well, I will go ahead and make another attack on that door.
Go for it.
I don't think the way that Tholnir's set up in the weapons allows me to
Yeah,
use it.
I'll make a
as
note
normal
of it.
thing. Okay, cool. No worries, thank you. I'll go ahead and just do a regular roll. That's an 18 to hit. I assume that
That'll do
hits.
it.
Cool. And then 2d8. is 13 damage before modifiers. Plus
Uh-huh.
1 and plus 3 puts that to 17.
Yeah, you give it another meaty smack, and the door buckles further, and there is now a kind of a dwarf-sized gap in it. It's still it's still sort of like secured, but it's now bent that far out of shape you can squeeze through.
Cool. I will take that dwarf-sized gap and
Sure.
squeeze my way through.
Sure. Kind of like there-ish.
Looking this guy up and down, does he have a set of keys on him?
He does have a set of keys, yeah. They're kind of they're jingling in the wind.
Jingling in the wind. All right, cool. Well, I will be keeping my eye on those sets of keys, and
Sure.
ideally, when this guy goes down, I'll pick them up.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's his turn, and you've just come out of his thing, so he's gonna try and bap you.
All right. Ooh, that will hit.
That will hit, wouldn't it?
I believe I have a thing.
You have a thing.
Wrath of the Storm.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever someone hits me. Is that right? At first level, you can thunderously rebuke attacks. When a creature within 5 feet of you hits you with an attack, you can use a reaction to cause that creature to make a dex saving throw. That creature takes 2d8 damage, thunder damage, on a failed saving throw, lightning or thunder, and half as much successful. So if they could make a dex saving throw, I don't know what number is against.
Yes, 17.
17. They rolled a 17, or that's my save?
He got a 17.
Okay. I would assume he passes then.
Sure.
So then I will roll 2d8 damage. And that would go down to 6.
6.
Yes, so he takes 6
Okay.
damage. And then I take how much damage, Jake?
10, which I believe is already done.
Oh, yes, that looks
it's-
right.
It's done a fantasy grounds then.
Cool. That's all good.
So then it's Raffin's turn. This guy is actually kind of backing up towards the door because he's getting like eaten and stuff in here. So yeah, Raffin is you.
I'm going to slam him again.
Sure.
This may take a moment. Sorry, started double clicking because of lag. $13's not going to hit, is it?
13 is not going to hit him.
Right, I'll slam 2, electric boogaloo. The one that now says slam does not only says damage, so
That's because you used the attack roll on it. So you got to click slam again. It's designed. You're not. It
Alright.
doesn't really expect you to do 2 in a row like that. It's kind of like do an attack and resolve it, and then.
I think I found the Smith's Tools rule
Did you?
for the future. I think so.
27.
That'll
It's
hit.
got a
him.
hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. That'll hit him quite nicely.
I know it's not saying damage, but the one above it's saying damage. I'll just use that.
Just click that one.
Was it a critical hit I made? No, it wasn't.
Nope.
Was it? No.
Just a regular hit. 20.
20 of your earth points.
This fella is just barely clinging on to life. He's like he kind of dodges out of the way of one airy fist, and it just opens him up for like clock him right on the outside of the jaw, and his head like slams back against the masonry, and you can see there's there's this wet red mark on the wall, with his blood. And he's kind of like slumped against it with his sword kind of up. So Rurak is you. Or it's the bears. Never mind.
Bears.
Um,
All good?
yeah, the bears actually can't really get to him right now. So So yeah, there's no room for them to move up.
Mm,
So
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Rurak,
I
it's
still
you.
think this might go in our favour, Patrick.
Can I-
Like that's why I picked bears. I thought they would
Yeah.
maybe block, because if there's a big wad of things coming our way, I can stick the 2 bears in their way, and we could
Yeah,
run away.
that could come in. That could be very useful, actually. We'll keep that in the back pocket.
'Cause I think I can pick you up as an air elemental and then whisk you
Oh, really?
away.
Oh, that's cool.
I think
Okay,
we've done
we can
that
try
before.
that. Sure. Yeah. Jake, can I try and give him a knockout blow? Not to kill him, just like a good old thump on the back of the head with Thumnir.
Sure.
Yep.
Go for it.
Healthy.
Yeah, he'll be fine
It's
after
kill
that.
stealing that, surely.
What turn marker? Okay, cool. So we'll roll a d20. 14 plus things.
14 plus things. 14 plus your things should be enough to hit him.
Yeah. Okay. 2d8 comes at 8 plus 3 plus 1 is 12 damage.
Yeah, he's holding his sword up, and you sort of just go bonk on top of his head, and he slumps and collapses.
Okay.
And you hear the footsteps stop just outside the door. And the door is kind of like flung open, and you see standing on the other side of the door, there are 2 real fancy looking knights, and a couple of regular schmuck guards. There's a dude in like bronze armor, and there's a lady in silver armor. This one.
Okay.
And that is where we will cut away to who have we not visited for a while. Let's cut back to Narinn and Muir.
Granny.
So yeah, you guys are Narinn and Muir. You are right next to the big set of double doors that the guards are now in front of. They're kind of like looking around. You can see some of them are like poking in like into corners with their swords. What are you guys doing?
Wait until they go away? I've got a plan.
My other. Oh, what's the plan?
You remember what happened to that jewelry shop in Rel?
The one you broke the door open for and it got robbed?
Yes. By shrinking the door.
I was going to say we try and speak to them as if we're Valasar and
That
tell them the
also,
lockdown's over.
that's a ballsy plan.
I don't suppose the
That's
castle
a
has
ballsy
some
plan.
kind of tannoy system.
You haven't heard any tannoys.
Or is it typical for a palace of this stature to have like announcements through the mind?
I don't know. Have you ever been in the palace of this stature?
Yeah. Is the realm is it this kind of stature?
It is
Oh,
about
the
this
one
kind
in
of stature.
H'rafn.
You haven't heard any mind tannoys in any of the palaces you
Doop,
visited.
doop, doop. Today's
Damn
soup
it.
is lentil. Also, was there a window back the other way? Did you say, Jake?
There was, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we could just leave. Worst case
Yeah.
scenario, we can leave through the window.
See, we
They're
can see through the
poking
door
closer
'cause
and
it's
closer
glass,
to you
right?
with their swords now.
But-
Can we shuffle the other way while they do that?
Sure, yeah.
Doop, 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 doop.
See, since the door's glass, we can see through it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's almost like a frosted glass kind of effect. Like you can kind of see like shapes and colors and stuff like that on the other side, but you can't really make out much like fine detail.
Can I see the color of the secondary log that will be blocking off the door that Zorgar went down?
Looks like it's roughly the same color.
Cool. Okay, yeah, I don't have a plan. I guess let's just wait and then shrink a thing.
Okay.
Because my Tannoys might be a little bit ballsy. But then I feel like they're also dumb enough they might fall for it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, see, I think a good old fashioned. They ran that way, and hopefully they are dumb enough to open the doors and running through after them. You know.
Them being us.
Sure. So how long are you guys gonna wait for them to vacate the doors?
5 minutes?
Yeah. See what happens after 5 minutes. Just kind of
Yeah.
shuffle around to wherever they're getting close.
Sure. Yeah, 5 minutes go by and they're sort of spread out more around the door, but they are still poking around in all the corners and stuff, with their swords, muttering away to one another.
Is there any kind of ventilation in this castle?
Not as far
palace?
as you can see.
Secret tunnels.
If you could see a secret tunnel from here, it wouldn't be a very secret tunnel.
Okay.
Secret
Narren's
tunnels
maybe
have to
gotta
be
stop.
secret.
Darren's maybe got to start poking at bricks in the wall.
Aww.
Nice big bricks.
Darren's patience is running very thin at this point. He's considering just charging.
I mean, do they have any convenient, daggers in their back pouches?
One does, yeah.
What was the thing about picking things up? They don't go invisible with you, do they?
No.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think it says anything you have on your person when the spell is cast.
It's somewhat ambiguous. So yeah, I'm gonna adopt the assumed one of if you pick something up, it doesn't stay
Okay.
invisible with you.
I guess we could just see if there's another way around, At least if we know generally where Zorgar is, then that's fine.
Yeah, okay. Let's look for another way.
Yeah.
Sure. It looks like there is another route down the end of the corridor. That door is also shut and barred, but the bar is on your side of the door.
Okay. Easy enough.
Oh,
Yeah, alright.
just gotta walk ourselves into our own cell.
Let's go through it. Is there people on the other side?
None that you can see.
And I guess we could stealthily unbarricade the door and
Yeah.
open.
Sure. Okay. Give us a stealth check.
You can have +6. I keep forgetting I have though.
How many of them you got left?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what day is it? I haven't used any today, I don't
You've
think.
not taken a long rest today.
Oh, god damn it, keep forgetting. Need to find my notebook.
You can,
Huh.
until we establish how many you have, you can just leave it. I got 19, so that's fine.
Oh, okay.
You're gets an 18.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and I didn't even roll with advantage for that. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys go. You kind of Scooby Doo up to the door, and lever the bar out of the door. And then what do you do with the bar? Do you prop it against the wall, lay it on the floor?
Yeah.
Throw
Prop it
it.
up against the wall.
Sure. So you kind of have to walk it up against.
I've got to go really stealthily to lift it and then be like, "Ah!"
Through the
Um,
window.
And yeah, there's a large kind of glass, with the thing that the doors rest on. It looks like a nice, convenient sort of handle to open one with.
Scootle through.
Sure.
Just
Yeah.
enough to scoot up.
It does make a noise. You kind of ease it open and go like, "Arr." You kind of.
How loud is this noise?
I mean, are you gonna wait and find out if they've seen, or are you gonna?
Just go
Maybe.
through.
Sure.
Okay.
Again, we're invisible, I like our odds.
Sure. Okay. So you head through, and you find yourself in a large cell block. All the cells are empty. There's a jailer, who sort of, kind of, watches the door open and kind of draws his sword. And he calls, "Hello?"
Ooh. Ooh.
What do you guys do?
Guess we respond. Hi there.
Make more spooky ghost noises.
Ooh.
Aaron's got to be speaking in Draconic, but yeah.
He starts yelling for help.
Okay, this is the point where we double back and we go for the main door that gets us out of here.
Yeah, you can hear footsteps coming.
Yeah, double back. Let's go.
Double
yeah.
back and try and slip past them against the wall.
Sure.
I can't believe this is working.
It's just been a game of ping-ponging up and down this corridor.
Yeah.
Narinn, can you give us a perception check? Okay, now 22, you definitely notice that Muir's not invisible anymore. And then you notice that you're not invisible either. Like, as soon as you step over the threshold into this building. Because Muir is definitely invisible in the corridor. She's not invisible in here.
Oh, wait, in the cell block?
Yeah.
Oh no. Are there any suits of armor on the wall?
No.
Shit. Where's the nearest window?
Back in the corridor.
Is it between us and the guards?
You're not entirely sure.
Okay, can I cast...
And then the jailer, it's like you kind of have materialized, and the jailer, kind of points at you, and he says, "They're in here! They're in here!"
I cast rope trick, which makes a little portal that we can hide in for an hour.
Have you got a rope?
Is there a rope in here?
There's a chain on the other side of there's a chain in one of the cells.
Let's not walk ourselves into a cell, for fuck's sake. Narren's got to pick up Muir and just run for the window.
Oh my god, no!
Do you resist that in any way, Muir?
Not really.
Sure. Okay, so Narinn, fireman carries Muir and legs it back down the corridor, is that right?
Yeah.
Sure, okay. So you gun it. Back, you shoulder the door open. You're in the right of your life, and you kind of come heltering, round and slightly round a corner towards where the window. You can see the window, and then you kind of come face to face with the troop of 4 or 5 guards, who just sort of skid on their heels and.
Oh, they're between us and the window.
They're between you and the window now.
Aww.
So they're gonna attempt to
but if I'm
stop
at
you.
Full speed here.
Yeah, they're gonna try and clunk you.
Is it the scary 210 claw people as well?
No, it's just the regular guards that were poking around at the door. One of them shouts.
It's maybe gonna be like, they're back there!
Yes, I was gonna say.
And just follow and keep charging, not slowing down for the window.
Okay, they're gonna give you. They're gonna
Hoping
try
to
and
confuse them.
try and take 4 opportunity attacks against you. Then.
Do I not get any successful confusions?
Nope. The red dragonborn with the bleeding arm carrying the human woman with the prosthetic limbs that very much match the description of the people they're looking for. That one doesn't wash.
Okay.
So, what's your armor class these days? Unarmored?
Without my armor, that's a good question. I think it's 14 because of my
14.
feet, right?
That feels reasonable. So one misses you. 2 hits you. For 7 damage.
Ugh.
Are you recording this?
Yeah, okay, so 101 I am at.
Another hits of 14 for 16 damage.
Ugh. So that'll be 84.
And then a
No,
23
85.
will hit you for another 17. So that is 30, it's around 40.
Owie.
I should be at 68 health.
Sure. Yeah, so you feel these kind of biting longswords slash into you as you make a break for the window. Are you just bursting through?
Through the window.
Sure. Give us an athletics check.
Opposite shoulder to the one Muir is on.
Yeah. You got a bit more
Not
weight behind
going
you now.
Muir
You got two
first.
people. So
Hey! I'm not a battery round.
Oh, of course I rolled bad there. Plus 8. I have no luckies left, so I can't do anything anyway.
Sure.
So good.
Can I punch the window while he does that?
you can try and help him. Sure. Yeah. Give us an athletics check.
Superman through. Okay, you give me an athletics check.
Right. You are. It's enough to give you a +2.
Yes.
'Em
19 to smash
yeah.
a window.
That puts you one short of exactly what you need to fully smash it. You thump into it, and you get this big hairline. You get this big crack spreads across. Like
Why
one
are the
more. and you're
windows so
absolutely-
strong in this fucking place? Just headbutt it and
Can
jump.
What were you saying?
Yeah.
Muir?
can I use my charm of water to tidal wave the people in the corridor down?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That will probably buy you enough time to bust through the window then. Because they were gonna reach you and attack you. But if you are summoning your big wall of water, it kind of rushes down the corridor and picks these poor guards up and they go ah, and then slam into the wall at the back and then kind of land and cough up water, and then they're trying to kind of grab their stuff and get after you. So give us another athletics check, Narinn. You need a 10 to finish the window off.
Like I get a +10. Plus
Okay,
8,
then-
so
then-
as long as I don't roll, as long as I roll 2 or above, I'm good.
Sure.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah. You bust through the window, and you know, are you like leaping through, or are you like smashing it and then falling through it?
Just leaping through.
Sure.
There's no time for
Yeah, you
carefulness.
kind of combat roll with Muir out the window. Muir, you kind of your head gets clonked a bit on the way out, but you burst through the window into a forward roll, and you're kind of in this sort of you're at like kind of one edge of the palace. You can see the kind of castle walls ahead of you, and the city stretching out beyond. And there are some guards, like, you know, kind of manning the walls, and they kind of turn around and go, "Hey!"
Oh my god.
Um,
This gets worse.
Is there any convenient, I don't know, passages, nearby doors that look to not be locked?
So I mean, you have to go left or right, because if you go straight ahead, you hit the wall.
How tall is the wall?
It's from this point, it's like 15 feet tall.
Did they take my grappling hook?
Yes. Yeah, they did.
Okay. Wait, me plus Muir, that has to be about a little bit short. 2 foot short. If I jump, we form a human ladder.
Yeah, you could probably give Muir a boost over the walls and let Muir escape.
And the other options are left and right. What's left and right of us? With a
And
quick
you're not
look
entirely
either
sure.
way. I like
oh.
right.
Oh, wait. I could cast fly on you, and you could try and dodge arrows. That's also an option.
How many guards are there looking at us from the wall?
You see 4 guards on the wall. These ones are armed with bows.
I guess let's go. How much momentum do you get with the fly? If I like sprint and jumped, would it be like gravity just stopped for a second and I?
How do you mean? Or like I mean, you can move as far as your speed would allow you to with fly. You think you get like the same speed?
Even if I dash?
Yeah. Well, if you dash, you get the same. Like, what does fly do? I think fly either just gives you a flying speed, which means you can move 30 feet in any direction, however you want. Or 60 feet, yeah, so you get a free dash, basically.
Ooh.
Okay, fuck it, let's do that.
Cool. Zap.
Sure. What does Muir casting fly look like?
I'm trying to think. What would she realistically still have on her?
You know, spare
Probably
pair of
very
wings.
unhealthy. Just unscrew her arm, jab him with the magic rod in her arm.
Sure, okay.
Probably really unhealthy for you, but probably does fucky gravity things for a bit.
Sure, okay, yeah. So, Narinn, you kind of feel yourself get somewhat divorced from time and space and reality as Muir stabs you with something. And then you start to glow this kind of golden aura. And you feel as if you could fly.
Narinn is going to try and fly dash over the wall while crying, "You fools trying to catch Captain Narinn Markex."
Are you leaving Muir behind? Or are you bringing Muir with you?
I'm carrying Muir.
Sure, okay. Okay, they're all gonna shoot you.
Can Narinn perform barrel rolls?
Sure. If you want. Right, so this one's gonna say longsword, but it's the same damage.
So there's no evasive maneuvers I can pull? No barrel rolls, no flips?
I'll give them a -2 to hit you, right?
Yes!
Because it's pretty bizarre.
Yes! No!
Okay,
No.
so 17 damage.
Hang on, I've lost my character sheet. So
Out of
I've
10,
got
it's going to miss you.
51.
And 14. So you're going to take another 14 damage. And then one more. With a -2. And he misses you.
Aha! Sweet barrel roll maneuver right at the end.
Sure,
Muir
okay.
screams when he does that.
Yeah, so Muir stabs you, and you feel yourself be divorced from. You see for a brief moment, actually, when Muir stabs you with this weird rod, you see kind of just sort of in the periphery of your vision, you see other Narins, right? You see a Narinn that still has all this stuff. He's got Nautilus and everything. He's charging in, kind of like in through the window. You see a Narinn on the walls, that's like punching up these dudes and fighting them, flinging them this way and that. You see a Narinn that doesn't look like Narinn. He has blue scales, but you still feel as if he's Narinn. He is kind of like he is floating in the air and shooting spells down at these guys on the walls, and then like your vision like snaps back to normal, and you sail forward through the air, and you give your little mockery, and 2 arrows whiz past you, or 1 arrow whizzes past you. You feel 2 thud into your side, and then the impact of that kind of puts you into a nice spin for a barrel roll, and you kind of lean into it, and another one whizzes past your head. And so, are you like swan diving over the wall? What is your plan?
Yeah, I guess if I dive low, I can dodge more arrows as they come at
Sure.
me, right? As opposed to giving them an easier target.
Yeah, you can see there's like a street kind of below you, lots of buildings and stuff like that. Like over this wall is actually exiting the palace.
Okay, yeah, diving down to the street, trying to find an alleyway to start scarpering in.
Okay. All right. Well, that seems like a good place to leave you guys. So, back in the cell block. This guard is gone. And there are... Who did I say was here? Nope. Why have you done that? Bear with me one moment here.
All good.
It's got synth in this music.
Mm.
And then 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Rurak and H'rafn, the door gets flung open, and you can see there is this bronze armored knight. He's got a cutlass half drawn, and there is this silver armored knight with a mace on her belt. Can you both give us an insight check?
Yep. Nat 20 puts me at 30.
30.
Woohoo!
I see all.
Yeah, so as the door opens, Rurak, you make eye contact with this silver knight, and you feel this like flash of recognition in her eyes, as she sees you. You don't recognize her, but like it's quite plain looking at they have two very differing immediate reactions. The bronze one is like, man, fuck these dudes. And the silver one is like, whoa, hang on.
Okay. Well, I was going to go ahead and throw my hammer at all of them, but recognizing the silver, do I know where I recognize them from?
You do not recognize them,
They
but it feels like they recognize you.
Okay. I mean, if we're holding eye contact as if they recognize it, they'd be like, do we know each other? And then I'm gonna throw my hammer as a lightning bolt at the bronze one.
Okay.
and push them back. Was it 15 feet with the so I think it's Thunderbolt Strike. 10 feet away. I get to push him 10 feet back, and then Thulnir. Well, I'll use the ability with Thulnir just now.
Sure.
Okay. So right. Attack. Normal. Cool. 24 to hit.
That'll hit him.
That'll hit him. All right, and then damage. Normal damage. All right. Oh, that's like it's a D8.
Oh, is that okay? Right.
Oh, is that how the hammer works?
I guess
Okay,
it must
so,
be. That's kind of weird.
So I guess the ability isn't set up, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Right.
Well, I mean that's hammer damage anyway, which is fine.
Sure.
Because like I guess that hammer would hit the guard behind it.
Yeah.
Would be the 5 damage, and then both of them would take 66, I believe.
Okay.
1 sec. Is that right? Oh, Jake, I believe it's actually 7 damage because Thulnir's a +2 hammer.
Okay.
So, and then 66 is 15. And then they both get pushed back 10 feet.
Okay, hang on. Right. So, can I drag it to? No. So this dude is on 20. This one is on this many. And it goes. Okay. So they kind of land in this pile. So you kind of, so Rurak, so do you say anything to the silver?
Yeah, I'm like, do I know you? And then
Sure.
throw the hammer. And if it's possible, I'd like to try and slam the door and push my body weight up against it. after
Sure.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of you have this interaction with the silver guard, and that gives the bronze one enough time to start saying surrender, and then you throw the hammer. and it like squeaks through the air and crackles and spits them backwards. Actually, this dude is. You actually don't feel as if your hammer is quite as effective on this dude as you'd expect it to be.
Okay. What, the guy at the back or the bronze?
The bronze knight dude.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, and then you're shoving the door shut. Is that right?
Yes. Am I able to use a bonus action to grab the keys off of the downed guy?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. I'll try. Yeah, locking the door will be next goes.
Sure.
Attempt.
Okay.
If I can, I'd like to try and prep my reaction for when they try to put the door down. I'd like to try and resist it.
Okay. So you're just gonna brace the door.
Brace the door.
And get ready to try and lock it.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. Okay. H'rafn, what are you doing?
What? Are you bracing the door? Is that what you said?
Yes. There's a few of them.
On the other side.
Yeah, and they're quite tough. So we may have bitten off more than we can chew, frankly. But if you
unless
can,
unless I go out there and windy them up.
Are you windy? Oh
I'm
yeah.
windy.
I thought you were rocky. I forgot. Right. Yeah, I mean you can fit through the door no problem as wind, right? Will they get you? Will they hurt you?
Well, I could go and do the, like, because judging by the size of me, I could fit like all of them. I could go into space with all of them, and then do that whirlwind thing.
All right.
And hopefully scatter them a wee bit, and then mix them up,
Okay.
and then because we can't stay here, otherwise there'll just be more and more and more.
There's no exit, is there? This is the only exit.
It's the
Is
only
that
exit
right,
you can see. Yeah.
I think it's worth a shot. Like,
Okay.
Jake, is that a viable thing? I could go like through like the keyhole or something like that, because I can squeeze through tiny places, and then place myself bang smack in the middle of all of them, so I'm touching all of them, and then whirlwind.
You can't get all of them. You can only get 4 squares.
Oh, see, it's because of the circle. I thought.
Yeah, there's the
Alright,
current
well,
marker
I
is
could-
kind of.
If
misleading.
I go, I can only really get 3 of them at most.
Oh, I maybe just have
Why
a
is one
thought.
guard safe in?
That's
oh, no,
Finn's
it's
magic.
Finn's dots there. I thought maybe Finn had.
Understep at will. Duration. Well,
Yeah, I'll do that then. I'll just go and I'll just go try and fight them as an elemental, and if you let the bears out, and then like I could
Okay.
maybe whirlwind 3 of them. That should spread them out a wee bit.
Jake.
I should probably draw
Oh, never mind.
more of
Never
the
mind.
corridor
Yeah.
dimensions on your thing.
Is there? I mean, the only other thing is no, I couldn't. I couldn't actually. I was trying to think. I could. If we can get in somewhere open, I can fly away with you, sort of a thing. But
I have a possible method of escape. Jake, there was grates at the top of the cells, right?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Open.
Give
Okay.
you a little bit of fresh air. You know.
Yeah. I possibly have a means of escape out there. I guess we'll have to see next turn.
Sure. Okay.
Yep.
So, H'rafn, what are you doing? You're going outside?
oh, I was just thinking if he has a possible means of escape. I don't know. Because I'm thinking like between me and the bears, we might be able to do like I could maybe whirlwind 3 of them, and the bears can take 2, and then there's just 1 kicking around.
Yeah, I mean, if we can.
I suppose I can always run away.
If the bears can hold the ground, like you were saying before, if they can hold them all off, I think we can escape out the back. If each of these cells have like a grating.
Well, what do you want me to do then? Do you want me to?
I just want you to follow me.
All right. Okay. So we'll just let the bears do their thing.
Yeah. So have
Hopefully,
the
if the bears, yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully, the bears go through. They'll block off a fair bit anyway, so then we can make our escape.
Okay. Yeah. Jake,
Is that what you mean? Yeah. It's like we use the bears as a sort of stopgap while we
Yes.
get out the back.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Okay.
That sounds like a plan. Sounds like a.
Jake, I'm gonna release the door once the bears are like.
Sure.
I know,
Yeah,
like
we'll
we'll be
get into
occupying the
position.
same space, I guess.
Yeah, you know, you can sort of squeeze through. That's all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, the bears kind of move up and kind of they kind of they're sort of like smacking on the door, and there's kind of it feels like there's a bit of like a like some movement against you, Rick, and then the bears kind of start growling, and they're like it sort of stops for a minute, and you can go, what? Is that growling?
Is
Which,
it
so
possible
like,
for me to?
sorry, go on.
Is it possible for me to trade with the bear? So the bear
Yeah.
takes the way to the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that and start like crawling underneath him
Sure.
and try get to the back.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
What-
with the keys. With the keys.
What color is that other guard that recognizes Rurak and H'rafn?
Silver.
Silver.
Talon didn't have a sister or anything, did he?
I don't know. I had no idea.
You never mentioned one.
Trying to think who would possibly know who's a silver dragonborn.
Yeah. I have no. I have.
Yeah,
How is this happening, Jake? Are we doing this in like turn order or?
we'll be kind of fast and loose with it because it's not into like a combat encounter just yet. It's just sort of tense. Does that make sense?
Sure.
But yeah, you're able to sort of swap with the bears and kind of crawl under. As you sort of escape from underneath the bears,
Okay.
let's get rid of all this extra guidance. The bears kind of move like that. Yeah, as you kind of escape from underneath the bears, you hear this kind of sound of like splintering something. I'm not sure if the door is made of wood or if it's made of glass. Probably made of glass. So you feel like you hear like this kind of like cracking sound, and you can hear as if they're trying to like bust in. The bears are sort of pressed up against it, and it seems to be holding fast for the moment. So yeah, what is your guys' plan?
All right. So I'd like to go to this top right cell door and unlock it.
Sure.
And I'm gonna say to H'rafn, just step back for a little second.
Okay.
Okay, so I want, with the cell door open, is there a view of the grating at the top?
Yes.
I would like to attempt to, outside of the cell, thunderstep on top of that grating.
Sure. Okay. I'm gonna need you to make me a check for the wards.
Okay.
Because it is warded against magic. What level is Thunderstep?
See, I was wondering if me being outside of the cell avoided the wards.
I'll give you advantage.
Okay.
Or hang on. Hang on. Let me check my notes for other wards.
Yep.
I don't know if it's. Yeah, what level is Thunderstep?
Well, it is a 3rd level spell, but I'm going to have to cast it at 5th level.
Okay. Yeah, so roll 1d20 minus 5 with advantage, and you've got to beat a 10 in order to get your spell off.
Okay. Oh, okay. I think we're good. A 13.
13. Sure, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so you thunderstep out, you kind of appear in the castle courtyard, sort of outside the cell.
Okay. I'll shout down the thing. H'rafn, time to go. Let's go. Come on.
Okie dokie. Follow him.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, so H'rafn, you kind of push out of the cell, and just as you kind of escape through the bars and land next to Rurak, whipping all his hair and beard around his face, you hear this sound of splintering glass, and then the sound of like combat behind you. But you guys are outside of your
Poor
cell block.
bears.
You are standing in a sort of open space in the palace grounds. There are some guards in the distance, running around, and they kind of one kind of because you land with a bit of a noise after a thunderstep, and one of them notices and goes, "Hey, over there!" People seem to notice you. So let's cut back to we've not visited Zorgar in a while. Let's visit Zorgar and see what's going on with him. So yeah, are you doing anything in your cells, Zorgar? Is there anything in particular you're talking to your dad about? He's kind of mostly just having a bit of a cry, to be honest. You've never really seen him like that before.
Well, talk to my dad about what he's been doing since I've last seen him. But when would be the last time I saw him?
I don't know. It's kind of a you question. Like, how often did you see your dad? That was he was away, but you know he'd come back and see your mum and stuff.
Yeah, I imagine not all that much. The last time I reckon you would have seen him. When did Zorgar left the Scale Army? Like 3 years ago?
Something like that. Yeah, it was like I don't know, like 6 months to a year before he met everyone else. I think judging by the backstory.
Yeah. So probably would have seen his dad not too long before he left the Scale
Sure.
Army. So like 3-ish years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He says well, you know, I packed it in once you left. I'm getting too old for it.
You left as soon as I left.
Well, you know, I retired. Afterwards, I wanted to retire earlier, you know, but I didn't. I wanted someone looking out for you, even if it was just from a distance.
Get out for me.
Well, yeah, you know, just in case anything happened and find out who you were.
First time you've cared about that?
He says, I know it seems that way, but I did it all for a good reason. And he sort of like there's something catches in his throat, and he look like he's trying to say something, and it feels like it seems like it's quite difficult for him to say. He says, I was always proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you know that.
Well, I know that, but actions speak louder than words sometimes.
I know. I know I didn't always seem the most supportive of when you joined up with the military. It was only because I know what it's like and I didn't want you to get hurt.
Yeah, I can understand that. So, what have you been doing in your retirement? How did you get from retired to here?
Well, you know, it's boring, to be honest.
Just cutting about scale.
There's not. I don't know how your mother does it. I need something. You kind of sort of for the first time he sort of smiles, and he says, "I've not. I tried building models. You know, I heard that a lot of people did that.
It's a nice hobby.
I'm all thumbs.
Could have gone into gardening, maybe some golf. That's precise, fiddly hobby.
He says golf. Is that one of like? Is that something on the mainland? That's the one where they
Yeah.
hit the ball, isn't it? What's the point of it?
Yeah. What do you mean? What's the point?
It just seems like a lot of space to take up with
Fun.
hitting the ball. Have you tried it?
Once or twice.
Was it fun?
A lot of standing about, to be honest.
Nah, I wouldn't do it for me. Because then, of course, your mother laid the egg, and then
Wow.
it looked like everything was going to be a bit different. But then, life has a way.
Yeah. Well. Would we have heard any, like, if those guys are trying to escape, would we have heard them? Like, we've heard guards running around and stuff.
Give us a perception check.
Gotcha. Good percent. There you go. Perception.
Perception. With a 7, no, you've not heard anything. Like, you've heard some sounds of people moving around, and, like, there's a small amount of commotion, but you're not entirely, like, you can hear in the distance, but you're not entirely sure if that's, like, abnormal. So, like, you can hear stuff's happening, but you're not sure if it's significant that stuff's happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Don't know why it rolled again. I think it's just lagging.
Your dad says, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, it's the guard not like moving. He's just chilling outside.
He's just chilling, watching you guys.
Okay.
Every now and then he sort of makes a kind of vaguely snide comment, or he'll kind of do like
a real
really
arsehole.
over the top, like "oh" sort of a thing. But he's sort of calmed down a wee bit since you started kind of hassling him back. He's reading a
Sounds
book.
like
It
he's-
looks like right now.
Marcus book, call him a nerd.
Can I like go up to the cell like door and just
Sure.
like spit a tiny bit of fire onto his book?
Sure, yeah.
Again with the spitting.
Kind of sort of go.
Fire.
And he kind of it lands on his page, and he kind of sort of smacks his book together, and he looks up at you. Sort of just kind of looks at you for a minute. He says, "You have to be very careful. Perhaps they didn't fill you in, but I can make your life down here, what's left of it. I can make it not much fun if I choose to."
I mean, if they're gonna kill me, might as well. It doesn't really matter, does it?
He kind of looks at you and he says, "You won't think that for long." And he just kind of stares you down.
Oh.
And he goes back to reading his book, kind of quite pointedly. And your dad kind of looks at you and says, "It's best not to annoy him." And he serves the food.
Okay. For you, not for him.
And then you hear the sound of a door opening, and you hear footsteps descending. and it's 5 to 10, so we're gonna stop here. But you hear somewhere out of earshot, someone addresses the jailer and says, "There's been a change of plans," and that's probably where we'll stop for today, and pick up next week with the remainder of the escape, or the not escape. We'll see what happens. So if you watch the stream, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week, probably. Tatty bye.